Hey, everybody. Welcome to True Crime Paranormal with the Psychic Sisters. I'm Kristi Brower here with my sister, co host, and partner in crime, Katie Weaver. Hey, Katie.
Hello.
You look a little windburned.
Oh, I am. Ooh, it
Only
has been
because you
a
are?
hard afternoon. Yeah, my goodness. We've had wind gusts at 35 to 40 miles an hour, and Mars had a softball game. So I've been
Yikes.
sitting out in that for the last 3 hours. Honestly, it was a relief that I had to come home to do this show.
I bet.
Yeah,
I was afraid to let my dogs outside. They're not very big.
I, me too. Me too. It's always been my worry that one of my little boys would be blown up against the fence and I'd have to go, save their lives. Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought. I have this vision of one of them pinned against the fence, and you have to go get them down because
No, it never
crazy.
actually happened. But yeah, if I look a little windswept, if you see a little, dirt in my corners and stuff, there probably is. I was driving home trying to, you know, because yeah, I've been sitting in a dirt storm for hours. So
So
yeah.
much fun for you.
Yeah, but I know I said, but we lost and we're so happy because we played the number one team in our conference. They usually absolutely kill us. They are very mean girls to play. Their coach is unbelievably just mean. And
Hmm.
we lost 12 to 15. We put up a really good fight. Mars had some extremely good work. I couldn't be happier. We'll take
Well,
it.
there you go.
Yep. And
Sometimes
we were
you don't
nice.
win.
Yeah.
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 Well, very cool. Well, as
Yeah.
you all know, tonight is the Thursday night psychic show. And we just want to say welcome. We've got some people showing up in the live stream here. RJ, Elizabeth, Kate, Maxine, and Innocuous. Welcome.
Uh,
Nice to see you all. So we always start off these live streams with something kind of lame like, "What'd you make for dinner?"
yep.
I made a pizza that I bought from a place that then you just bring it home and then you bake it. So super exciting.
I'm, I'm all kinds of jealous. I Venmoed another team mom $10 to buy Mars a salad at Wendy's. That's as far as I've gotten.
Dang it. I was gonna say, I bet you haven't had any dinner yet.
No, and the JV game was just starting, and so my family's still over at the field. So
Ah,
yeah, and they con Scott into keeping score, so they're over there freezing to death, and I
well,
got to get in a warm car and come home.
of course they did, but oh man, I'm really glad
Yeah,
to be here too. I would not wanna be out in that wind. Yikes.
mm-mm. No, no, I'm
Fry
pretty good.
bread.
Oh,
Yum.
we'll be right over,
Alan,
Alan.
we
We'll be
will.
right over.
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh.
Lauren had a half a pumpkin chocolate chip cookie.
I mean, Lauren, go ahead and have the other half. I mean, if this
Right.
is dinner.
Right, and it has a vegetable in it. I
It
mean,
does. I mean,
you could have that and a glass of wine, and you've got a balanced meal.
you do. It's almost a salad, actually.
You got your fruits, your
Elizabeth said they
vegetables.
went for pizza and that she had salad.
That works too.
Way to go. Way to go, Elizabeth. That's some self-control right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as always, we like to start off the show with a little topic, and then we are going to do some readings later on in the show. So you're welcome to throw those up in the chat. Also, the super chat is on. And so if you want to pick up a sticker or anything, give us a little tip if we do a reading for you. That's always appreciated,
Hmm.
but not expected. Of course, if you can do, if you can't, that's all right. Hey, Bianca,
Yeah.
thanks for coming in. Nice to see everybody coming in here. Aaron, Oriana, Kat. Awesome. So, something I've been seeing a lot in my clients recently is what I call chronic root chakra instability. So,
Mhm.
your root chakra is at the base of your spine, runs all the way down your legs to the bottoms of your feet. It's the foundation of your energy body. It's kind of like when your root chakra is chronically out of alignment. I want you to think about, have you ever been in a house that has a foundation that has shifted? You
Mm.
know how then the doors don't shut
Mhm.
or they hang open, the cupboards hang open, the stairs are weird. Like that's kind of what happens when your root chakra is chronically out of balance. It puts you in a place of always being out of balance. Like it causes imbalances in the rest of your energy body as well. It's really in your root chakra is super important because it's about survival and it's about safety. And if we don't um, take good care of ourselves in that regard, if we never feel safe inside of ourselves, inside of our bodies, you
Yeah,
can't really ever feel safe in the rest of the world. Wouldn't you say, Katie?
absolutely. Absolutely. And so many root chakra imbalances start with childhood,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
childhood stuff. And it is stuff that will chase you for a long time. And so it's very worth learning about your root and how to care well for it and how to recognize when you are having an imbalance so
Mhm.
that you can do something about it. The bad news is some of this really is childhood stuff that's going to follow you. The
Yep,
good news is, yes, there is a lot you can do. A lot we can do, a lot you can do. Yes.
there is. There is. Um, just to acknowledge a few people in the chat, Aaron says, "I'm having a Reese's peanut butter Easter egg, and it's making me feel pretty content." Well, a
Amen.
post-Easter dinner, all right. Candace is having wings, nice. Kat is having sloppy joes. We're running the gamut tonight.
Right?
But hey, leftover Easter candy? I mean, come on.
Right.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what are the symptoms of a chronically
Mm.
unstable root chakra?
Well, anxiety and depression,
Mhm,
being scattered,
mhm,
not being able to think, not being able to get anything done, get your head on straight.
mhm. Having that fight or flight response get set off inside your body,
Mhm.
little things cause big emotional reactions for you. If you ever
Mhm.
feel like, "Man, I am way too upset about this," like,
Mhm.
it's fine to be upset about this, but I'm way more upset about this than I should be," or "That scared me a lot more than it should have," or "It's taking me 2 weeks to recover from that experience," and,
Mhm.
that kind of thing. That's an unstable
Mhm.
root.
Mhm. And
So is
some
lower
physical
body pain.
behaviors. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And some physical behaviors like
Mhm,
smoking,
mhm,
eating,
mhm.
not that always, but when your root chakra is misaligned, you will frequently reach for something to ground it.
Yeah,
And a lot of times,
chocolate.
subconsciously, yep,
Mhm,
you do that by eating certain things. Yeah, carbs a lot of
yeah,
times or caffeine.
mhm.
Smoking is a big one. A lot of smokers really just have an unstable root, and they use
True.
smoking as a way to ground because it's
It's
this action and it's
mhm,
also putting this thing into your body. It's also the action of going outside, and
mhm,
going outside is grounding.
right.
There's a lot of addiction things that really the core of where that started was probably an unstable root.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. And difficulty trusting. So,
Mhm.
just being distrustful in general, like, you can't ever kind of get over that distrustfulness even with someone who has never given you a reason to distrust them, really, really impacts relationships because a lot of times people with an unstable root chakra have a difficult time really fully connecting to other people because it's there's so much trust issue there that you never
Mhm.
quite feel safe enough. And so
Mhm.
much of it is not about distrusting other people so much as it's distrusting yourself.
Mhm.
You distrust yourself that you can make good choices, that you're choosing people that are a good fit for you, that are safe,
Mhm.
and of course there's some distrust of other people too, but a lot of it is really distrust of yourself
It
when your
is.
root is chronically unstable.
Oh, yeah. Well, you consider someone who was abused or abandoned as a child
Mhm.
that may have some core beliefs there about not being able to keep themselves safe, not
Yep.
being able to trust themselves to keep themselves safe. I
Yeah.
mean, on the surface, you go, but that wasn't their fault. They were children, they were babies. But that's not how your internals work.
Right.
There's that
Right.
responsibility on you to keep you safe.
Yeah. Exactly. And there's to go along with that, there's also just the idea that you don't matter or you don't count or you don't have value.
Mhm.
that can, really shake that root chakra because we need to feel safe inside our bodies, that
Mhm.
we matter, that our needs matter, that we can put
Mhm.
ourselves first in our lives in order to really be happy. And if you can't do that, you have to kind of look back. So if you experienced abuse or neglect or just a lot of instability, divorce when you were young, lots of moving around. I have worked on a lot of military kids
Oh, yeah.
who have unstable root chakras because you never really
Mhm.
put down roots. You moved every couple of years and you just never really had this place that felt safe and like home to you.
Mhm.
Losing a parent or a sibling as a child
Yeah.
are definitely, things. I mean, it doesn't have to
Mhm.
be as extreme as abuse. It
Right.
can be a lot of other things. Even just living in a family that it was financially unstable.
Yeah.
Where there were questions about if we were going to have enough food or if we were going to, keep the lights on
Mhm.
in the wintertime. That kind of thing can definitely have created an unstable root chakra for you.
Mhm. Or living with a mentally ill parent or an addicted parent,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm.
And maybe there
Definitely.
was no abuse or neglect and good, but living with a mentally ill, being raised by a mentally ill parent when you feel like you have to be the parent or you feel like you don't have, you know, you don't have the tools that you need to take care of yourself. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, so obviously this is a really, really broad topic, but it was one I felt really prompted to bring to you guys tonight, and I'm really glad because by the looks of the chat, a lot of you are resonating with this information.
Mhm.
And this is the kind of stuff we have not been taught
Yeah.
about ourselves. And
Yeah.
the really good thing about root chakra instability is that it's healable.
Mhm.
It's not permanent, and a lot of us live with it permanently
Mhm.
because we don't know it can be healed, but it actually can. And there's
Mhm.
work that a healer like Katie or I can do for you, and then there is work that you can do as well. And it takes a while because you have this habit in your energy body where your root chakra, instead of sitting in the center of your body at the base of your spine, like, stationary like it's supposed to, it
Mhm.
swings back and forth like the pendulum of a clock. Those
Yeah.
big old grandfather clocks with the pendulums that would swing all the time? That's what an unstable root chakra looks like to me.
Mhm.
So we want to stabilize that root and get it into place and keep it there. Over time, what happens is you change the habit in your energy body to having a stable root chakra instead of having an unstable one. I mean, your
Mhm.
energy body is just doing what it's always done. You can change the habit, you can change that vibration to sit where it's supposed to sit, and then, no, we're ripping the Band-Aids off tonight. Sorry, Erin. We don't wanna be doing that, but we do want this is such an important topic, and it
Mhm.
changes people's lives. I love doing root chakra stability work because it literally changes your life when you
Oh,
realize that
yeah.
this is you and that it is fixable. But
Mhm.
we have to change that habit in the energy body to go from being the unstable swinging around root chakra to being stable, giving you that sense of stability and safety because when that fight or flight response goes off in your body, it's false.
Yeah.
The vast majority of the time when you have a problem with something like this, when that fight or flight response goes off and you have this huge reaction or you run, or if you're a runner
Mhm.
from situations and relationships and stuff, the the level of threat does not match the response.
Mhm.
And that can be so devastating because you might quit jobs and leave relationships and
Mhm.
turn your life upside down a whole bunch of times because of the reaction you have in your body. And that reaction is a false alarm.
Yeah.
And that sucks. So, yeah, we
Yeah.
definitely want to help people figure out how to get stable.
Mhm.
So, Katie, what are some things, and there are things that we do as healers, but it's not super interesting to listen to because it's just the stuff that we do.
Mhm.
But what do you say to people about what's their part in this? What can they do to get stable?
Well, part of it is they can do some basic self-care stuff, like get yourself outside every day.
Mhm.
Every day. I worked in early childhood for many years. And even on the coldest, crappiest days, we'd bundle the kids up and we'd go outside. The idea is that there's no bad weather, there's just bad clothes, right? And that applies to adults too, because we tend to, when the weather's not ideal, we hole up in the house. And you guys, I see it so much in the winter, you guys getting so ungrounded because you're spending so much time with your electronics, so much time in the house, so much time not connecting to the earth. And so a daily practice of going outside, even if it's just a few minutes, to get your feet on the earth, in snow boots if you have to, but get yourself amongst trees. That is extremely important. It can't be expressed enough how important that is. If that was the only self-care or spirit care thing you did every day was put your phone down and went outside for 5 or 10 minutes, you'd be amazed how much would change.
Mhm.
Huge. And then some daily meditation,
Mhm.
and I hear this from people a lot. I don't have time. I don't have time to meditate. Yes, you do. You don't have time to not meditate. You
Mhm.
have 10 or 15 minutes a day. I know you do. I know you do.
Well, and even if it's just go look up on YouTube, I've talked about the 528 hertz miracle tone.
Mhm.
Dude, go find it on YouTube, find it on Spotify, whatever, and listen to it in the background while you do some other stuff. That in and of itself will have a huge impact
Mhm.
on the, balance of your energy body. Even if you can't make yourself meditate during it, still
Mhm.
listen. It's still gonna help you.
Mhm. Absolutely. I also am a big believer of having houseplants. Believe
Yeah.
it or not, just having plants in your house is a great way to help stay grounded because you have that earth and that connection to the earth and to the literal earth, to the dirt in your home.
Yeah.
Anytime I walk into any like facility or classroom or place where people are and they have animals and they have plants and they have a fish aquarium, I go, okay, this is good. People can be okay here because there's life here,
Yeah.
and the same goes for your home. And if you think you're horrible at keeping houseplants, keep trying and figure one out.
Mhm.
Get a peace
Succulents,
lily.
my friends, succulents. Only
Succulents,
thing I
peace
can keep
lilies.
alive.
Yeah.
Actually, Rhonda keeps them alive, but,
Mhm.
everything else we have cats, we can't.
Yeah. And then, of course, things like if you want to use crystal therapy, keeping a dark stone in your pocket or in your bra, anything that's black or red is
Mhm.
grounding.
Yep,
If you use essential oils, tree resin oils
yep.
like frankincense, sandalwood, myrrh, those are all really good grounding oils. Other things too, if they still, if they resonate with you. Oils are kind of funny that way.
Mhm.
If it
They
resonates with
resonate.
you as a grounding oil, yeah.
Definitely anything
Patchouli.
that comes from a tree.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yep, you can wear those, you can diffuse those, and then but my absolute all-time favorite is a sea salt bath.
Yeah, definitely.
And you don't have to use a ton, a half a cup is fine if you don't wanna, put too much salt in your water, but it doesn't matter, but a little sea salt and a good bath is a really good way because sea salt is a crystal, and, that's in the selenite family, the salt family,
Yep.
and that is a very grounding activity. Your water in combo with the sea salt, very grounding.
Mhm.
Visiting the water, if you live on the ocean or you live near another waterway that, resonates with you, visiting that, putting
Mhm.
yourself in it if you can, but if not, just sitting near water, very grounding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very much
What do
so.
you think?
Well, okay, so first of all, to help with that fight or flight response, when you feel it happening, okay, think
Mhm,
about it right now. If this is sounding like you, I want you to think about the last time you had a huge overreaction.
mhm,
In that moment, if you can, I want you to do what I call a reality check. And that's where you look around your room and you start naming the objects you see. So, I see a light switch and I see a picture on the wall and I see my cup and I see my microphone and my desk and my chair.
mhm,
It brings you back to the moment, which is very grounding, to bring you back to the moment and recognize that I am okay.
Mhm.
You have to take control of that emotional response by overriding it. And that's what and you'll hear mental health professionals talk about this all the time, the naming the things in your room.
Yeah.
Just look around yourself and start naming stuff because you know what you don't see? Lions, tigers, dinosaurs, stuff that's here to kill you, right? Because that's where that fight or flight response comes from. We have it from a time in which we did have to actually run from predators. Now,
Mhm.
we have not had to do that in a real long time, but unfortunately, our brains and limbic systems have not caught up to that reality. And so sometimes we have that huge response, that huge adrenaline response. The other thing is, so do your reality check and get yourself back into reality, and then do something physical to burn off those hormones that your body has released. You've got all this
Mhm.
adrenaline in your body, you need to burn it off. So go take a walk or, just jog in place for a couple of minutes. I mean, whatever you need to do to burn it out of your body so that it
Mhm.
doesn't continue to tell you there's something wrong because you're all amped up like you're ready to run from the
Yeah.
saber-toothed tiger.
Yeah. Use
And
the adrenaline. Use
yeah,
it.
use it. Use it. Whatever you gotta do, use it
Yep.
so
I
that,
like the theory of just turning up the radio and having a dance party with your cat, you
absolutely,
know?
yes. Anything physical to just burn it off, do it so that you start to teach your body that this is not real,
Mhm.
and I have control over it. I can
Mhm.
look around my room and see that I'm okay, I can burn the
Yep.
adrenaline off, I'm safe, and I'm also in charge. Super helpful.
Yep.
The other super helpful thing is to be kind to yourself and to
Yep.
recognize that you have a little bit of a problem that can be healed. It takes
Mhm.
some time and it takes some practice and it takes some definite kindness to yourself because you're gonna be really good for a while
Mhm.
and then you're gonna have a meltdown and
Mhm.
that's okay, you know? This is all about just starting over the next day and starting over the next day and working with one of us on the energy work, like that's one of the big things I do over at Purple Ocean. I do these 3-minute videos and I
Yeah.
do energy work in those videos a lot. People come to
Mhm.
me and say, "Okay, my root chakra is way out. Can you just balance me and tell me what's going on there?" And then I do the energy work in the video and tell you what I see, that kind of thing. And it's a great way to continue to work and solve this problem over
Mhm.
time.
Yep. Yep. And on that note, we were already talking about causes and symptoms, and one thing we didn't cover that I think is worth mentioning is that the death of your father
Oh, yeah, yeah.
is an extremely ungrounding situation, and the reason why is because your spirit connects to your father at the root and to your mother at the heart,
Yep,
typically.
yep,
That means there's a root chakra connection from your root to your dad's root, your heart to your mom's heart, and vice versa. Typically, and again, I know some of you guys probably didn't have one or the other of those parents in your life, and so you may have, connected to someone else, or maybe you didn't. But for people who had their father in their life and then don't, whether it was a death or that person just, vanished from your life,
mhm,
you will have a part of your root that is just disconnected from anything,
yeah,
like, kind of flopping in the wind. And that has to be connected somewhere. When people's dad die, they will say things like, I feel like I cannot get myself together. I feel like I can't quit shaking. I feel like I can't, there's a part of me that's missing. I feel
mhm,
like I can't quite, get my shit together.
yeah,
For months, months and months, people experience that after the death of their father, which, I mean, yes, grief, of course, but that spiritual disconnect is really painful. And it creates all kinds of unstable root chakra conditions and
yep,
symptoms that just, add to the already grief and upheaval that you might be experiencing. And so, when or if that is to happen, we want to work on you. We want to
mhm,
know that so that we can take that part of your root and ground it somewhere for you
yep,
so that
yep,
you don't have that level of instability anymore. That is a really awful feeling.
It is. It is, but it can be repaired,
Yes.
if you know that's what the problem is, it can be
Mhm.
fixed.
And it can help a lot with grief, you know? It can help a lot with grief because when you are also so messed up, it's hard to be able to process your grief.
Yeah.
So,
And Mary, you are not screwed. She says, "Darn, I'm screwed. Dad died in August, mom in January. I'm so sorry."
you know
Let's
it,
definitely do some
right?
work on you today to resolve
Yeah,
the heart chakra issue and the root chakra issue that comes up after the death of parents.
yeah.
I also wanted to say, Mary, if you're not in control, like at the dentist, I want you to try while you're there, take whichever hand, right or left, it doesn't matter, and I want you to tap your leg at a tap, give yourself a rhythm. Just tap your leg. It's a really, really good way to slow down anxiety. And as
Mhm,
you start to get less anxious, slow down the tapping. Slows down your breathing and your heart rate when you do that because you're matching up to that vibration, you're matching up to that rhythm. So try that, hopefully they won't think you're weird at it. Just tell them it's something you do for your anxiety at the dentist and they'll be okay. But just a light tapping of your leg and use that to help you control how your body feels. You'll see it works. It's very useful.
mhm. Tapping your thymus is really helpful too, but in the dentist chair, you probably are gonna be
Probably
more
can't.
likely to reach your leg. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
No horns or floppy ears tonight. You know what? I slid in here sideways running late because of softball, and I forgot all about my ears.
I just didn't get mine put on either. Look at
Maybe
that.
it'll just be a marching orders thing. I don't
I don't know. Just a
know.
way we remember, I guess.
Yes, good luck at the dentist, Mary. I
Yeah,
I too
and
am not a
definitely
fan.
talk to your dentist about your anxiety,
Mhm,
let them give you a little bit of medicine or gas if you can take it.
mhm.
Don't don't be a hero, you know? Take the help that you can
No.
get.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Well, I know that we do have a few requests for readings here, so maybe we oughta get to those,
Yeah.
huh? Roll up here. Still laughing about everybody's Easter candy and cookies for dinner.
I It works. We had an adult Easter egg hunt, and one of the things that I had done, I rubber banded these, like, Otter Pop alcoholic Otter Pops to
Mhm.
Easter eggs, and we hid those. I had one of those last night. Diamalama.
I have not
Everyone go
had
to the store. Oh my gosh,
it.
so good. That might be dinner tonight. I just don't know.
Okay, Katie. Kate says I was abandoned as a baby and have a really, really bad PTSD around my birthday, which was yesterday. So, do you wanna take a look at, Kate and see what we can do for her?
I would be thrilled to. All right, so Kate, we're gonna go back there. And I'm calling in a whole team to support you. So I'm going back to baby Kate, and I'm calling in some ancestors and some angelic presences as well to really circle around you and support you there to lessen that abandonment. Yep, to really hold you, support you, love you until you were, shifted into your next situation. And then I'm going to ask them to just continue to walk with you throughout childhood to support you. Yep. And while I'm there, I'm going to work through that root. I mean, babies don't have a developed root chakra yet. They have a root chakra. They don't have a developed root chakra.
Chakras
So,
kind of float around until we're about 8, and then
yeah.
they, sort of get in a little bit of a more uniform
Mhm.
kind of alignment. But that's one reason why instability in childhood can cause a problem with your root because it's when it's forming,
Yep.
and so it may not form correctly.
Yep. So what I'm going to do, Kate, I'm going to work through your root. I'm going to command a Merkaba clearing and command billions of many points of light to flood your system now, flooding your root, completely shifting the core beliefs that I am abandoned, I am alone, I am unloved. I'm commanding these core beliefs to be healed and cleared and rendered neutral and inert in all directions of time now, through every cell of your physical body, every layer of your emotional body, and every fiber of your spirit body now. Then I'm going to move back through there, commanding a Merkaba blessing, commanding billions of many points of light to flood your system now, moving through your root, completely shifting your frequency to the beliefs that I am safe, I am loved, I am protected. Commanding these frequencies to shift through every cell of your physical body, every layer of your emotional body, and every fiber of your spirit body now. All right, and then I'm just going to fix your overall ground is not exactly the way I'd like to see it, so I'm going to fix that. Good. So here's my recommendation to you. As things like your birthday come up or any other times that could be triggering for you, that you go back to those affirmations and that you also envision that circle of ancestors and angels around you as a baby, all the way up through your adulthood, being a part of your team now, supporting you, being a part of your, being a part of your world, your experience.
I love that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going JR would like a root chakra, healing and general reading. I'm gonna do that. Bianca would like to know, how does she go about finding a Reiki or energy healing mentor? She's looking to get certified.
Awesome. Well, you want me to talk to her while you work? Or are you ready to go?
Yeah, go ahead and talk to her while I work.
Okay.
Sorry.
I don't want to stomp all over you. Okay. Well, there's a few different ways you can go. I mean, you can certainly look around online and see if you can find someone near you. A lot of times on Facebook, you'll find healers groups in your area. And so it's worth doing a little looking and seeing if you can find someone that way. You could also do some private lessons. Kristi or I could take you as a student online and do your Reiki certification that way. And that's certainly an option to you. It just depends on if you want someone in person to work with, which I really actually do recommend. As a second resort, either of us could do online classes with you. But again, I would actually start with Facebook and search in your area for light workers, healers, Reiki masters, and see what you can find, in that regard. Because I really feel like you'll find people. It's just the new age world is kind of funny because I feel like it kind of might stay a little under the surface until you find it. And then you discover, oh my God, there's a ton of this in my area. I just didn't know it. So I suspect you'll find something. But again, Bianca, if you want to just do the online route, either one of us could do that with you. So your choice entirely. Okay. Kate, you are
Okay,
more than welcome. She said that was an insane shift I felt. Good.
good.
Like insane.
Good, we do. That's a good thing here.
Yeah.
Okay, so JR, you did have a little bit of a root instability, but not like a chronic one. Like, I just feel like occasionally you kinda get knocked off your pedestal just a little bit, and we all do. And so I did ground and, I centered that root chakra and did a chakra balancing for you. I feel like the word expectation kept coming up. And I feel like for you, you've kinda gotten into a place where you tend to expect the worst because you've gotten the worst in some people, and then you tend to, expect a lot of yourself and not enough of other people, and you kind of expect that things aren't gonna work out because they haven't in the past. I want you to really work on and kinda think about that word expectation. Where are you at with it? How is it working in your life, and where does it maybe need to change a little bit? Because I think that's really a thought issue that's, you know, hanging you up. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, let's see. Elizabeth Ross, any career advice, Katie? Should I find a new job?
Yeah. Elizabeth, I think you should. I don't think where you are, you will be able to. I think you're in a box. I don't, I'd be surprised if you are able to break out of it. I feel like where they have you now is where they want to keep you. I think you're worth more than you're being paid. I think that you could potentially enter another company at a higher level. I feel like where you are now, they want to keep you in that spot. They want to keep you at that pay. They want to keep you, but they want to keep you where you are. And I don't really feel like that's going to change, unfortunately. It sucks because I feel like you are an awesome employee and that any employer would be happy to have you. But these guys are just, they're taking advantage of what they have with you without really, paying the piper. And so I suspect that you will find a new job. I don't think it's immediate. I would be surprised if it was. I feel like this could be this year, maybe sooner. Maybe you're going to surprise me and do it by the first part of the summer. A lot of it's on you, just to decide that you're going to rewrite that resume and spoof it up and see yourself as, higher level material and
Boof it up? What does that
spoof it
mean?
up. Should that have been spiff it up? Maybe
I'm
floof it
thinking,
up?
yeah. I don't know. I don't know what spoof means, but
From now on, it is spoof, which means make it even better.
I
But
like it. I like it.
at any rate, though, I think that's gonna happen. Yep, I think you've hit the wall where you're at, and it's just probably not gonna change. So,
I
yeah,
love it. Well,
move on
good.
to somebody that wants to honor you more.
Change is good. Okay, I'm gonna talk to Erin. Katie, if you talk to RJ, RJ says she's been having 35 to 40 hot flashes per day for the past few weeks. I'm so sorry. That's awful.
All that,
Really
yeah.
starting to affect me physically and mentally. Can you send me some healing energy if possible? And I'm going to talk to Erin. I just thought maybe I'd give you a minute to connect to that
Yeah,
situation.
absolutely.
Erin's 38th birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday, Erin. That's so cool.
Yay,
You're still in your
Erin.
30s, you lucky little bugger. I'm just saying. I'm just
Get
saying.
ready. No, I'm kidding.
No, Erin, what really comes to mind for me, and you may not love this word, a lot of us don't, but it's boundaries. I feel like this year for you is going to be all about setting clearer boundaries with people in order to put yourself and your happiness first. It's kind of a weird thing we women learn as we get a little older is that we have kind of allowed too much bullshit. And I feel like that's where you're at, that you're starting to get it, that I have put up with too much stuff. I have allowed too much stuff. This is your opportunity to use that very wonderful little two-letter word, no, and just get clearer with yourself and with other people about what you're okay with. Stop doing stuff you don't like. It's okay to say, "No, thank you. That doesn't really interest me," you know? Like, you don't have to say yes to everything. You don't have to do things you don't wanna do. You don't have to commit to stuff that later you're like, "Oh my god, why did I do this to myself?" Don't do it. Use this year to put yourself first and put your happiness first because I gotta tell you that nobody else is gonna put your happiness first in the world except for you. And I feel like this is that year that you're gonna set those clear boundaries and put yourself first and really shift the way that you take care of you. And when you shift the way that you take care of you, all the people around you shift the way they take care of you as well. Some people are gonna struggle with this. Some people might even fall away from your life. But you know what? If they can't deal with you setting boundaries about what makes you happy and doesn't, they probably weren't that great to begin with in your life. Okay? So keep that in the back of your mind all year that this is a year of setting clear boundaries and putting myself and my happiness first. Okay? So happy birthday.
I love that.
Me
There you
too.
go, Erin. Okay, RJ, I have a couple of thoughts for you. Um, a couple of essential oil suggestions that came up. The first is clary sage. Clary sage is amazing for some hormonal balance. Years ago, Young Living came out with this blend for women, and they called it Dragon Time because they're stupid. And
Right,
the
right.
women were like, "Excuse me, bitch, but Dragon Time?" So they renamed it. And then
Uh,
doTERRA mimicked it, and I can't remember what they called theirs, but it was nearly all clary sage.
mhm,
And clary sage and I think some rosemary and maybe some peppermint, but that's what it was.
yeah,
And when we had our store,
I
we
forgot
had
about that.
women that absolutely lived on that
Oh,
clary
yeah,
sage blend because it when for menopause, it's amazing.
yeah.
So I'm going to recommend clary sage. You can put it on your womb. You can put it on the pressure points inside your wrist. You can diffuse
On your
it,
low back.
your low back. You can sniff it out of the bottle.
Just
You know, yeah.
like that.
Well, I mean, aroma therapy,
I mean,
but
if you're in tough enough shape, just straight out of the bottle, man.
mhm. The other one that came up, was peppermint. Peppermint on the back of your neck.
Yeah.
Peppermint oil saved Kristi and I's life once, and I'm not kidding.
Totally did, you guys. Oh my gosh.
At a sweat lodge
Mm,
where we almost died of heat. It
I
was
mean, I'm
really
glad I can
bad.
say I did it, but
Mhm.
and that I survived, but will I ever do that again? No.
It was too full. It was a little lodge, and there were, like, 20 people, and so we were shoulder to shoulder, arm to arm,
This
and
teenage boy sweated on me the
mhm.
entire time. It
Christy
was
and I
so gross.
somehow managed to be in between these teenage boys. We were sandwiched in between them, and they all didn't have shirts on, and they sweat on us until, well, it was a sweat lodge, but sweat lodge itself was an amazing experience. But the lady who facilitated it had allowed you to bring in one little pouch of, whatever you needed. Well, Christy very wisely had a little tiny bottle of peppermint oil in her pouch. And we passed that sucker back and forth. It was a 4 round or 5 round
Ugh,
event.
something.
And
Felt like
by the
500.
by the last round, most people had dropped out. There was like 5 of us, and it was
Mm,
awesome.
and it was great.
You could lay down, you could get comfortable, nobody was sweating on you, and then I was like, "I could do this, I could definitely do this if it was that small," but anyway,
Right.
whatever, but it was the peppermint oil, man. That and I had a big garnet in my pouch that somehow managed to stay cool, and I could put that garnet, like, on my face and on my neck and the yeah. But anyway, peppermint oil on the back of your neck, it will save your
Mhm.
life, now you
It
know.
does. It
So
helps.
there's that. But the other thing I did for you, RJ, is that I called in the ethereal energy of sterling silver. Silver is really, really cooling and balancing. And since we want to help you cool, but we also want to help you get balance, right? Because what's happening right now is your body's fighting for balance and, well, you're losing. And so we want to help get there. So I ran ribbons of sterling silver from the top of your head all the way through your body and out your feet several times to help, facilitate that cooling. And then the last thing I'm going to do for you is just put a chi ball of aquamarine light around you because that's also really cooling. And then I'm going to put a black tourmaline at your feet so that we can help with pulling you into balance and help with just the cooling aspect. And so those are both healing modalities that are ethereal crystals. So that's the last thing I'm going to do. So I'm going to do that for you right now. Everything else I already did.
Nice.
So you can
Okay.
move on.
I will. Lauren says I was diagnosed with a progressive connective tissue disorder that affects my lymphatic system. Will I get it under control? Yes, you will. I do feel that you will. I do feel, do everything that your doctor says. But I also feel like getting your emotional health And your spiritual health in a good place is a very important part of this. So do all the medical stuff they tell you to do. But I want you to look at this as an opportunity to reconnect with your body. Because I get it. I have several immune system diseases. It can make you pissed off. I
Mhm.
referred to my immune system as a dumpster fire in the doctor's office one day, and he's like, "Don't talk about yourself like that." And I was like, "Oh, okay." In the moment, I was like, "Dude, I'm just being real." Um, so I feel like some meditation, some journaling, some, really using this as an opportunity to connect with yourself and with your higher self and whatever spirituality you, attest to, or if you don't, maybe find some, because I feel like you need that part of it. That piece of it is really important along with the medical stuff so that it doesn't just make you feel like, "Ah, there's one more thing wrong with me. This is just, it can, I know where that mental spiral can go, and I
Mhm.
just feel that in you a little bit. So I want you to address that. If you need to see a counselor, did you know that there are counselors who work specifically with people with chronic illness?
Yeah.
Get you a chronic illness counselor for a little while
Mhm.
to work on that. And, please go listen to the 528 hertz miracle tone, because I can't stop saying that because it is really powerful. Vibrational healing is truly one of the best things we can do for ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
But just acknowledge the emotional impact that this has, and take your time to take good care of yourself in this moment, and recognize that there's more than just your physical body that needs a little healing here.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, Katie, I was saved this one for you because it's about Ginger. This is Oriana asking for
Yeah.
some healing. She says Ginger her is her dog and not doing well, going to the vet tomorrow. She's an old lady, unfortunately. Dad,
Yeah.
um,
That's not well
Dad's
either.
not doing well
Yeah.
either. They're just kind of wearing out. So I
Yeah. Okay.
wonder if you take a look at that.
All right. Let's feel into Ginger. Yeah, Ginger's ready for mom. Honey, I know you know.
Yeah.
She's ready for your mama. She is so tired. I don't know what it is exactly, but Oriana, when I feel her, does she have fluid around her heart? I wonder. It hurts right here.
Mm,
And at first I was swallowing thinking, is her throat? Is her thyroid? What is it right here? But actually, I think it's lower. I think it's pressure in her chest that's pushing up, and
mm,
kind of making her throat hurt. I feel like lungs heart. I'm concerned about. Something here doesn't seem right. Um, she's not well. You're right. I'm gonna do some healing work for her. But I know you know that at some point she's gonna return to your mama and that's gonna be okay. But yeah, you're right, she's struggling a lot. I'm gonna tell you this though. Your mom and Ginger trust you implicitly. They know that you're gonna make the right decisions for her, whatever those are. They're
yeah.
gonna support that and trust that. You have been a savior for Ginger. You have been wonderful to her. You
Oh,
have
yeah.
taken such great care of her. When she was grieving and mourning your mom, you joined her in that. You took good care of her. You've seen her through a lot, and she trusts you, and so does your mom. So you do what feels like the right thing. Listen to
Yeah.
the vet, listen to your heart. I'm going to tell you that I don't know that your dad or Alan can make a great decision about Ginger at this point.
Yeah.
Dad doesn't feel good enough. Alan is just too emotional and overdone over everything. It's probably going to be on you to make a decision about treatment moving forward or how we're going to treat, what's going on with Ginger. But you are supported and you are trusted. So whatever decision you make, that will be the right one. So I want you to know that. So are welcome to check in with me after the vet tomorrow, and I would love to hear what they have to say, and I'll help support you in that. Yeah, and I'm sorry that Dad's not well. He's had a long road here the last few years. I know.
Yeah. Dang it.
So more than anything, I'm going to fill you up because you're tired too. Damn it, and you just never get to be because you're always packing everybody else on your back. So I'm going to give you a big lift up.
Okay. While you do that, Maureen says, I am at my wit's end regarding my car. Should I fix it or get a new one? I feel like you should get a new one. I feel like the fixing it will just keep on happening and keep on happening. And I feel like this is one of those cars where every time you take it in to get something fixed, they find something else. And it's just going to keep happening. And so I do feel like you are going to be better off replacing that darn car. Okay. So sorry, car problems are a real pain in the butt.
Boy, that was exactly what I thought too. You nailed that totally. It's just jonesing for the next thing to break.
Right? I know some cars just love to break.
Mhm.
Aaron said, completely resonated. I'm fed up with being my family's maid. I want to be in control of my life again. Yes, Aaron, that's what this 38th birthday is all about. Learn your new favorite word, NO.
Yeah.
She also says, I feel smarter just being here. Well, I like that.
Well, chakras and energy work stuff are, we could talk about it for, well,
Oh,
way longer than you want to listen, honestly.
yeah,
But
definitely. Definitely, definitely. But it is something that we really love to educate about because so many people don't understand. Like, you literally do have an energy system that is sort of like any of the other systems in your body. We learned about the circulatory system, the respiratory system, and the
Mhm.
digestive system, and all that stuff. But nobody taught you about your energy system. But this isn't just a theory, it exists, it's
Yeah,
measurable. And learning how to understand it and work with it is a key part of being a functional person.
yeah,
I I love sharing as much about it as humanly possible for that very reason.
absolutely.
Yeah. So, you can come see me over on the Purple Ocean app. You can get that in the App Store.
Yep.
And I do 3-minute videos. So, we can work through all kinds of stuff one step at a time that way. And you can find Katie at 12listen.com to do the very
Mhm.
same kind of work because we
Yeah,
love it. Yeah. Also, if you are in Spirit School or you would like to join Spirit School, we have our live meditation is coming up on Sunday at
yeah,
10 a.m. Mountain. And this is going to be a meditation about how to clear your mind. So if you have trouble with a racing brain, I'm going to do a meditation with you to teach you a skill. So it's actually a meditation that you could do afterward to clear that racing mind. I've just noticed a lot of
nice.
us are experiencing that lately, myself
Mhm,
included. And I felt like that was the right topic for this week. So
mhm.
if you have not joined Spirit School is our membership program on YouTube.
Mhm.
So Spirit School, you get one live guided imagery meditation and two live streamed classes a month. They're metaphysical classes. Katie and I take turns teaching various things.
Yeah,
They're available after the fact as well, so that you don't have to be there live if you can't be. But we do follow up on those videos and answer questions and stuff as well.
yep,
And you can do that. You can join that by just go to True Crime Paranormal on YouTube, and you'll see a little button that says join. And when
yeah,
you click on join, it will give you the opportunity to join Spirit School. So
yep.
it's a monthly subscription, and it's 14.99 a month, which is dang cheap to get classes from us. Because
Mhm.
between us, we have nearly 30 years experience teaching metaphysical stuff, so
Yeah,
we love it. So we would love for you to join us there if you haven't already.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll also be back with a couple of pop-ups over the weekend.
Yes, we
You
will.
don't know. We'll just show up, and you don't know what we're showing up with either. We're having some fun with that.
Mhm.
And yeah, and then of course we'll be back next week with our usual schedule.
Yeah.
So thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We couldn't do this without you,
No.
and we love doing it. As you know, we love these live streams and we love getting to know all of you. And you can learn more about us over at truecrimeparanormalpodcast.com as well. And you know it. We are the Psychic Sisters here
Mhm.
with True Crime Paranormal. Have a